Welcome back to Snoozy Facts, where curiosity meets calm. Tonight, we'll drift through a gentle stream of surprising ideas, each one leading softly into the next, designed to soothe your thoughts and guide you into rest. So put on your headphones, close your eyes, and let your mind wander as we explore random facts. Learn something new before you snooze. Let's begin. Octopuses have 3 hearts. 2 pump blood to the gills, and 1 to the rest of the body. When they swim, the heart that serves the body actually stops, which is why they prefer crawling to conserve energy. And speaking of energy, electric eels can produce shocks up to 600 volts. That's enough to stun prey or deter predators. But they don't use it constantly. They pulse in short bursts, like underwater Morse code. That reminds me of another creature that communicates in pulses. Squids can change color in milliseconds. Their skin contains chromatophores, tiny pigment sacs controlled by muscles. This lets them flash patterns, camouflage instantly, or even mimic other sea creatures. Color changing isn't just for survival. Sometimes it's for attraction. Peacocks don't just show off their feathers. They vibrate them. The shimmering eyes on their tails aren't static. Males shake their plumage at specific frequencies, creating a soundless ripple that females can sense. And speaking of ripples, tsunamis can travel across entire oceans. After an undersea quake, the wave may move at jet speed, up to 500 miles per hour. But in deep water, it's barely noticeable until it reaches shore. The ocean hides many secrets, including its own music. Whales sing in regional dialects. Humpbacks in one part of the ocean may have a different song than those thousands of miles away. And over time, their songs evolve, like cultural trends in sound. Sound travels far underwater, but so does light in strange ways. Bioluminescent plankton glow when disturbed. A gentle wave, a passing boat, or even your hand can trigger a soft blue shimmer in the water. It's a defense mechanism, a flash to startle predators. Light as a warning or as a guide. That brings us to ancient travelers. Vikings used sunstones to navigate cloudy skies. These crystals polarize light, helping sailors locate the sun even when it's hidden. It's one of the earliest known tools for celestial navigation. Navigation isn't just human. Some birds do it better. Pigeons can detect Earth's magnetic field. They use it like a built-in compass, allowing them to find their way home across vast distances. Scientists believe they sense it through iron particles in their beaks. And speaking of beaks, parrots name their chicks. Each baby develops a unique call, and parents use that call to communicate individually. It's one of the few examples of vocal labeling in the animal kingdom. Names matter even in space. The Milky Way smells faintly of rum and raspberries. At least the chemicals found near its center, ethyl formate, are the same ones that give those flavors. Space may be silent, but it's chemically rich. Chemical richness leads us to another strange flavor. Some mushrooms glow in the dark. Bioluminescent fungi emit a soft green light, possibly to attract insects that help spread their spores. They're found in forests across the world, a quiet glow beneath the canopy. And beneath the forest floor, trees talk through underground networks. Fungi connect roots in a wood-wide web, allowing trees to share nutrients and send distress signals. Older trees even support younger ones, a kind of botanical mentorship. Mentorship exists in other species too. Kangaroos can't walk backwards. Their muscular tails and body structure prevent it. It's one reason they're featured on Australia's coat of arms, symbolizing forward motion and progress. Progress leads us to invention. The first alarm clock could only ring at 4 a.m. Invented by Levi Hutchins in 1787, it was designed to wake him up for work, not anyone else. Adjustable alarms came much later. And speaking of waking up,
if you're still awake, let your thoughts drift gently with the next wave of facts. Each one is a quiet step deeper into wonder. And if you can, reach over and hit the subscribe button. Learn something new before you snooze. Let's continue. The word alphabet comes from the first two letters of the Greek alphabet, alpha and beta. It's a reminder that even our systems of writing have ancient roots, passed down and reshaped over thousands of years. And speaking of reshaping, glass is actually a very slow-moving liquid. Over centuries, old window panes become thicker at the bottom, a subtle sign that glass flows ever so slowly under the pull of gravity. Gravity shapes more than glass. It bends light itself. Massive objects like black holes can warp space-time. Light passing near them curves, creating a cosmic lens that magnifies distant galaxies. It's called gravitational lensing, a natural telescope built by gravity. Telescopes have helped us see far, but sometimes the smallest things surprise us most. A single teaspoon of neutron star material would weigh about 1 billion tons. It's the densest known substance in the universe, so dense that atoms collapse and electrons fuse with protons. A star's death leaves behind unimaginable weight. Weight isn't always physical. Sometimes it's emotional, even in animals. Elephants mourn their dead. They touch the bones of lost companions, stand vigil, and show signs of grief. It's one of the clearest examples of emotional depth in the animal kingdom. Emotion and memory go hand in hand. Goldfish can remember things for months. Despite the myth of a 3-second memory, they can learn routines, recognize faces, and even navigate mazes with surprising skill. Skill shows up in unexpected places, even in plants. The Venus flytrap counts before it closes. It waits for 2 touches within 20 seconds, a clever way to avoid false alarms. If triggered again, it snaps shut, trapping its prey. Traps aren't always physical. Sometimes they're logical puzzles. There's a paradox called the ship of Theseus. If you replace every part of a ship, is it still the same ship? And if you rebuild the original parts elsewhere, which one is the real ship? It's a question of identity, change, and continuity. Continuity matters in nature too. Some turtles can breathe through their butts. During hibernation, certain species absorb oxygen through cloacal respiration, a survival trick that lets them stay underwater for months. Underwater survival leads us to another cold weather marvel. Snow isn't white, it's colorless. The whiteness comes from light scattering through the ice crystals. Each flake reflects and refracts light, creating the illusion of pure white. Illusions aren't just visual, they can be auditory too. Your ears never stop working, even when you sleep. They continue to process sound, which is why sudden noises can wake you, even if you're in deep rest. Rest is essential, and some creatures take it to extremes. The desert snail can sleep for up to 3 years. In harsh conditions, it enters a deep state of dormancy, waiting patiently for moisture to return. Patience exists in nature and in architecture. The Eiffel Tower grows taller in summer. Heat expands the metal, making the tower stretch by up to 6 inches. It's a quiet reminder that even monuments breathe with the seasons. Breathing is something we share with trees. Trees release chemicals to warn each other of danger. When one is attacked by insects, it sends airborne signals that nearby trees detect, prompting them to produce defensive compounds. Defense can be chemical or behavioral. Crows hold grudges. They remember faces, and if someone treats them badly, they may avoid or even retaliate, sometimes years later. Memory and emotion, even in birds. Penguins propose with pebbles. A male will search for the smoothest stone and present it to a female. If she accepts, they build a nest together, a quiet ritual of partnership. Partnerships exist in space too. Astronauts' height increases in orbit. Without gravity compressing their spine, they can grow up to 2 inches taller. It's temporary, but a strange side effect of floating in microgravity. Floating leads us to another mystery. The deepest part of the ocean is called the Mariana Trench. It's over 36,000 feet deep, so deep that if you dropped Mount Everest into it, the peak would still be underwater. Depth can be physical or philosophical. If you're still awake, let your thoughts drift gently with the next wave of facts. Each one is a quiet step deeper into wonder. And if you can, reach over and hit the subscribe button. Learn something new before you snooze. Let's continue. The word robot comes from a Czech word meaning forced labor. It first appeared in a 1920 play where mechanical workers eventually rebelled against their creators. Even early fiction imagined the tension between automation and humanity. Humanity expresses itself in many ways, including through numbers. 0 wasn't always part of math. Ancient civilizations counted without it, and it took centuries before 0 was accepted as a number, not just a placeholder. Its arrival revolutionized algebra, calculus, and even computer science. Computers rely on binary, but nature has its own binary systems. Some animals are born male and become female. Clownfish, for example, live in groups with one dominant female.
If she dies, the largest male transforms into a female to take her place. It's a fluid hierarchy built into biology. Biology also shapes how we see. Humans can distinguish over 10 million colors, but we don't all see them the same way. Some people have tetrachromacy, a rare condition allowing them to perceive extra shades, especially between reds and greens. Color perception varies, and so does time perception. Time feels slower when we're afraid. In moments of danger, the brain takes in more detail, making events seem stretched. It's not that time changes, it's that our awareness speeds up. Speed affects perception, even in sound. The Wilhelm scream has been used in over 400 movies. It's a stock sound effect, a dramatic yell originally recorded in the 1950s. Filmmakers sneak it into action scenes as a kind of inside joke. Jokes and patterns show up in nature too. Zebras' stripes confuse predators. When they run as a group, the moving stripes create visual noise, making it hard to target a single animal. It's camouflage through motion. Motion can also be used to measure. The speed of light is about 186,000 miles per second. It's the cosmic speed limit. Nothing can travel faster. Even light from the sun takes over 8 minutes to reach Earth. Earth receives light and sends it back. The Voyager spacecraft carry golden records. Each contains sounds and images from Earth, greetings in dozens of languages, music from different cultures, and diagrams of human anatomy. Anatomy includes some strange features. Your stomach gets a new lining every few days. The acid inside is strong enough to dissolve tissue, so your body constantly regenerates the stomach wall to protect itself from its own digestion. Digestion isn't just physical, it's also mental. Reading rewires the brain. It strengthens neural pathways, improves empathy, and even changes how we dream. People who read fiction often report more vivid, story-like dreams. Dreams can be shaped by sound. Some people hear music in their heads constantly. It's called musical imagery, and for some, it's like an internal radio that never stops. Composers often use this to sketch melodies before writing them down. Writing things down helps us remember. Ancient Romans used wax tablets for notes. They'd write with a stylus, then smooth the surface to reuse it. It was an early form of erasable memory, long before whiteboards or screens. Screens now show us the world, but maps once did the same. Old maps sometimes included sea monsters. Cartographers filled unknown areas with dragons, serpents, and mythical beasts. It was a way to mark danger, or admit that no one knew what lay beyond. Beyond the known lies curiosity.
If you're still awake, let your thoughts drift gently with the next wave of facts. Each one is a quiet step deeper into wonder. And if you can, reach over and hit the subscribe button. Learn something new before you snooze. Let's continue.
Bananas are berries, but strawberries aren't. Botanically speaking, a berry must develop from a single flower with one ovary. Bananas fit the definition, while strawberries do not. They come from a flower with multiple ovaries. Definitions can be tricky, especially when it comes to memory. The human nose can remember over 50,000 scents. Smell is closely tied to memory, which is why a familiar aroma can instantly transport you to a moment from years ago. Moments can be fleeting, but some creatures live incredibly long lives. Greenland sharks can live for over 400 years. They grow slowly, move quietly, and some alive today may have been born before the invention of the piano. They are among the longest living vertebrates on Earth. Longevity isn't just about age, it's also about endurance. The heart of a blue whale weighs as much as a small car. It beats only a few times per minute, pumping blood through a body longer than a school bus. Even at rest, it moves with quiet power. Power can be silent, like the pull of magnetism. Some frogs can survive being frozen. Wood frogs in Alaska stop their hearts and freeze solid during winter, then thaw and hop away in spring. It's a natural form of suspended animation. Animation isn't just biological, it's also mathematical. The number pi has been calculated to over 100 trillion digits. It's an infinite, non-repeating number that shows up in circles, waves, and even the orbits of planets. And yet, most of us only use the first few digits. Digits can be practical or poetic. Shakespeare invented over 1,700 words. He combined, twisted, and repurposed language to create expressions we still use today, like bedroom, lonely, and eyeball. Eyes help us see, but not all creatures use them the same way. Starfish have no brains and no blood. Instead, they use seawater to pump nutrients through their bodies, and their nervous system is decentralized, a network of sensing without a central command. Networks exist in technology too. The first email was sent in 1971. It was a test message between two computers sitting side by side. The content was forgettable, but it marked the beginning of digital communication. Communication can be visual, like in ancient symbols. Cave paintings in Indonesia are over 40,000 years old. They include handprints, animals, and abstract shapes, early signs of storytelling and symbolic thought. Long before written language, humans left marks to be remembered. Marks can be made in sound, too. Some birds mimic chainsaws, car alarms, and camera shutters. Lyrebirds are master impressionists, able to copy nearly any sound they hear, even human voices and construction noise. Noise isn't always chaotic. Sometimes it's rhythmic. Your heartbeat syncs with music. When you listen to a slow, steady rhythm, your pulse may adjust to match it. It's one reason lullabies and ambient music feel calming. Calmness can be contagious, even across species. Dogs can smell human emotions. They detect chemical changes in sweat and breath and respond differently to fear, happiness, or sadness. It's part of how they comfort us without words. Words aren't always spoken. Some are written in the sky. Rainbows are actually full circles. From the ground, we only see part of the arc, but from a plane or mountaintop, you might glimpse the full ring of refracted light. Light bends, and so does time.
Thanks for spending your evening with Snoozy Facts. If you're still awake, I hope you learned something new, and if you're already asleep, I'll take that as a compliment. Every week, we share calming, curiosity-driven episodes to help you unwind, drift off, and dream a little deeper. So if you enjoy relaxing facts and gentle storytelling, tap the subscribe button and join our growing family of sleepy learners. There's always more to explore, from ancient wonders to cosmic mysteries, and everything in between. Learn something new before you snooze. Good night.